Welcome everybody to another exciting, life-changing episode of HomeKit Insider. You've got me, as always, Andrew O'Hara. Joining me this week, once again, is Wes. Wes, I couldn't even get to the joke because I couldn't pronounce your name correctly. That's it. This episode's done. We've already gone off the rails and we are 33 seconds in. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Pretty good. Just, same as always, working hard, waiting for some iPhone news. We're getting really close to September, so lots of stuff going on.
I know you, me, and Mike have all been working the past 2 weeks now on a 6-month Vision Pro review. So that's been going on, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going live, I think, next week or this week that people are listening to it, right?
Right. That should be out, Monday, Tuesday at the latest. We'll see.
Yeah, same. I'm trying to get that video to line up at the same time, but we'll see. We've got a sponsor for that one too, with a really cool Vision Pro app. So we'll see how it all lines up, but that should be coming out and I'm pretty excited. Honestly, Wes, I feel like I'm very excited for Vision OS 2 because that's got some big things in it, even though it's in beta, but I still can't get over movies. Movies and stuff are still my flipping go-to, and I just never have a better movie experience. And they just added all those new 3D movies in the Disney app. So I'm like, oh, well, now's a good time to rewatch Avengers in 4K IMAX 3D.
Yeah. As you're listening today, 2 episodes ago in the Apple Insider podcast, we covered the review, actually, because we anticipated it coming out a little earlier, but that's fine. So if you want a little preview, if it isn't out yet, you can get it there, and you might be surprised. I mean, it's a great device, but I definitely take a position on Apple's need to push harder on media and games and stuff like that. But like you said, using it and work and entertainment, it's really well done. It's just, how is Apple going to sell this thing if they're not evangelizing it, So I think it's going to be a good review. I think people are going to enjoy it, and I can't wait to hear what everyone thinks.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it too. So we'll leave that. We don't need to talk about Vision Pro on the episode today because we have smart home news to break into, starting off with what we had talked about in the last episode, but literally was confirmed after we wrapped recording Shane and I. Adaptive lighting is coming to Matter. We talked about it. So I guess after we had discussed it on the episode, because it came out, people were talking about it in a Reddit post. After that was leaked, teased, or whatever, everyone knew about it. Then the CEO of Nanoleaf went and spoke to The Verge and confirmed, come on, Jimmy, you got my number. Why are you going to Jennifer? Come on. But they confirmed that it is coming to Matter and all those other things. So Nanoleaf is one of the early companies that is piloting this, and others will be coming on board too. So if you got some Matter products, as long as they work with the company and Apple, this is going to be a thing, which is great.
I've always liked how they design these bulbs here. They're so fancy.
Little whatever. I can't even think of the shape that they put them in.
Hexagonal. Pentagon, it looks like. I don't know. There's all kinds of shapes on this thing, but they're just really fancy looking light bulbs. But no, I'm excited. I like adaptive lighting. It's always kind of annoying because different lights in my house have it and different ones don't. And I'll go to open the picker and it's you can turn it pink or blue. And I want daylight. So you have to go all the way to the color picker, choose a temperature. And it's, I like having the adaptive lighting setting available because it's always there as well.
I agree. This is a really minor thing. I don't even know if you can count this as an actual news item, and I'm just throwing this on Wes the last second here. But I just noticed this this morning as I was checking out the Home app after updating to the latest betas of iOS 18, and they did have a new splash screen for the Home app. So that is popping up now for beta testers. So updates to Control Center they're touting, so rearranging and resizing accessory controls and curating a page of your favorite home controls. Accessories on watch, add accessory complications or widgets to your watch face so you can stay in control while on the go, and customize access for guests. Create a schedule for when guests can enter your home and use accessories. You can also specify which accessories guests can use. So those are the things that they are touting for iOS 18 in the Home app. Not any big surprises there because we've covered it at length, but that's when we're at the end, Wes, right? Like you start seeing all the splash screens come up in all the stock apps.
We're really close. I like so we're seeing finalized icon designs as well. Like Find My looks really nice in the dark mode icon. The Apple Maps finally picked a good design, I think, for the dark mode icon. We're so close to it. It's wild. We're going to have an early September, mid September iPhone event, and usually iOS 18 comes out right after that. So not long.
Right. I'm calling it now. I'm calling my shot. We're going to see September 10 for the iPhone event, and then September 17 for iOS 18 and its ilk. And then likely it sounds like I don't think we're going to see necessarily an October event like we were talking about yesterday, because we just had a video go up on the YouTube channel on like the MacBook Pro rumors, but it's going to be a spec bump on the Mac side of things this fall. So I don't think we're going to get like a full blown event, but maybe we get like an abbreviated video, 30 minutes long, to introduce these things. Especially if they want to show off the Mac Mini a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but as a Mac user, I'm not really much of a Mac user, just observing the stuff, it feels like it's going too fast, right? Like the MacBook Pro is already short cycled. They did a January and then an October release on chipsets, and you're telling me that there's a possibility that the M4 is going to come out another 12 months later? That's just so hyper accelerated. I mean, I understand these chipsets are constantly coming out, and maybe Apple has this figured out on supply side, but doesn't it feel like, we're already so close to the M2, the M3 just happened, that by the time the M4 comes out, where do all these other devices go? Is Apple selling everyone they can make? Or like, is there going to be a Best Buy where people have 4 different MacBooks to choose from, with 4 different chipsets on sale in the same rack? It just, it's going so quickly. And all of these devices are going to be supported at the same time by macOS for a decade, right? So I don't know if it's not a complaint. It's good that Apple is doing this because, you look at Intel, but in any case, not HomeKit related. But yeah, I'm with you. Events are coming up. I'm very excited. And, I know we have one quick thing to jump into before our first break, but I wanted to ask you, we got more Home Hub related news, the robotic arm iPad HomePod thing that everyone's dreams are packed into. What do you think of this thing?
I'm still so torn on. Okay, this is just me. I rarely use FaceTime. I do use it. My grandmother likes to use it to check in with her great grandson. So like, I do use it, and I do even use like the moving ones, like the Insta360 arm that can move around, and I have used like the Belkin one that uses DocKit to move around, which is essentially what this is, right? I mean, Apple has basically laid the groundwork already with third-party products that are using this moving arm robotic framework to keep people in frame. If you're watching the video, my lights just flash because it happens all the time. But moving on, basically these products are already out there. So like Apple's already essentially doing this. So you'd be taking it and you'd be putting a bigger screen on it with like an iPad. So to me, something that just follows you around, I'm not seeing the need for this yet. Not yet. Like we can already essentially do this. I don't see what the point of spending $1,000 on something that can move around. I'm sure there are a lot of other things that this can do, but that's what the information we have right now is.
Right.
So right now I'm underwhelmed. I want to be whelmed. Whelm me.
All I need is a HomePod with a screen, and if it happens to be one that follows me around, fine. Just give it to me in whatever form it takes. That's all I want.
100%. Like that is my functionality right there. I want that home hub, and I'm against a docking tablet. I do not want that. I don't think it will ever be in its dock. I think that is a flawed proposition. I want that solo device that sits on my counter that I can control through my smart home. I can see my, smart assistant responses and pulling a lot of the Apple Intelligence features in there to have, compound phrases of doing multiple things and having timers being shown on the screen while looking at other stuff. Like there's a lot of things that they can do. That is what I want. I do not necessarily need the whole robotic arm thing. As long as they get that smart home functionality locked down, that home hub thing, that's what I'm going for.
So you got something to talk about this week as far as sponsors go? Is it who we got?
So with this one, you guys know them. Of course, we love them. It is ExpressVPN. Going online without ExpressVPN is like forgetting to mute yourself when you're on a Zoom meeting. Do you really want your coworkers to hear you like trash talking them, or you're scolding your child, or whatever it is that you're doing when you're supposed to be paying attention to a meeting? You got an episode of Friends going right off a screen and it looks like you're staring at the camera, but really you're just watching Chandler be Chandler. Like, no, you don't want to do that. So make sure you keep yourself protected by keeping yourself on mute and by using ExpressVPN. I am dead serious. Like, I don't travel without using a VPN because it just seems so risky. Anytime that you're on those public Wi-Fi spots, whether it's on like a train, whether it's on a plane, whether you're in an airport, coffee shop, a foreign country, whatever, it is so easy to steal your information. By using a VPN like ExpressVPN, it routes 100% of your traffic through secure encrypted servers so that ISPs can't see your browsing history and other people cannot track what you're doing. It's harder for them to track what you're doing, for them to steal your information like your passwords, your banking information, your logins, whatever it happens to be. It is protected. ExpressVPN is by far one of my favorites. I love the fact that it has a simple, easy to use app for all of your devices, iPhone, iPad, and Mac, your Apple TV even. Sure, I guess it'll support PCs if you happen to use one of those, but those are supported too. It's rated #1 by top tech reviewers such as CNET and The Verge. You can turn it on and get protected with just one click. So here's what you guys can do. Protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/HKI. That's expressvpn.com/HKI. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/HKI. So Wes, this next news, I'm jazzed about. We also talked about this earlier in the week. Nanoleaf, you have a new device out. This is called the Expo Smart LED Display Case, and it's a combination, a collaboration between Nanoleaf and, I don't know how you say the Fantaki.
Nope.
Fantaki. I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
It's Fantaqi is what I'm reading. So I'm sure someone out there knows how to pronounce it. But basically, it is a smart display case primarily used, I would say, for sneakers, like sneakerheads. Put your shoes in there and it lights up. There's a light at the top that is diffused around the sides, and it looks really, really cool. It comes basically like collapsible, kind of like how you would get them if you order them from like IKEA or Amazon. Then you snap it all together. You can connect a ridiculous number of these, up to 300 of these you can connect together. They can stack both vertically and to the sides. There are little connectors on there similar to their wall lights, and you put these little connectors in there and just snap them all together so they all can light up together, and you can like synchronize them, control them individually. It is really, really cool. There's a lot of little nice touches to them, like when you open and close them, there's a little like warm light that comes on to respond to that with a little animation. It magnetically closes so like latch stays secure. I personally am going to be putting a couple of these Lego sets that I have in there because I feel like that's going to light up really, really well. But they're advertising these for any collectibles, whether it's sneakers, Legos, tech stuff, really anything you've got. Are you going to be picking these up, Wes?
I'm definitely tempted, and they're priced like furniture, so it's a little expensive for sure. But these, as long, Nanoleaf stuff's always been built to last. You get like the 6-pack or 8-pack, and yeah, you're coming away pretty high priced, but no more than you'd pay for a like wooden piece of furniture, like a real, like a nice piece of furniture. So, and these look really cool. I think, you could use them for anything. Some of the example photos are like those bespoke desk setups where people color match everything, and you could have your plushies or your Lego sets, your whatever models or figures that you have, whatever you want to do with these. And that's what's cool about them. They're just lit up shelves. So kind of go nuts. I like the idea.
Yeah, they definitely are a little expensive, but it's basically pricing for Nanoleaf products. Like their stuff is always priced
Right.
similar here. So you're getting a 4-pack of these for $300, $299. Their smarter kit, which includes like whatever you want to call it, like their hub, the main thing, which includes things like the music visualizer, because this can sync to music. You can do screen mirroring, and it literally will like emulate the colors of your screen if you put these like on the left and right sides of your desk. There's a ton of stuff that is built into this. So it's really the tech. It's this whole, that smart panel and the tech that goes with it. And then they're putting it into a box. So I get where the price is coming from, but if you're looking at it like, oh, I can get a little cube on Amazon for $15 for a 4-pack compared to $300 for a 4-pack, big difference, but you're paying for that smart tech delights. But I think they're very cool. So link is in the show notes per usual.
Looks like this is Fantacky. It took me that long to get to the boxes on their website. What's going on, Nanoleaf? Why isn't this on your front page? But yeah, these are cool. I mean, I personally, I think I would go for the 8-pack just because it, again, like you would want to take as much space, I guess, as it makes sense. But I don't know, 300. I guess you could have a wall of sneakers or something. I know people who collect sneakers like that would probably very much appreciate having as many as they could fit into a room. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're $70 for each additional one, or you can go for, like you said, the 8 or the 12 pack in there and go that way.
I mean, you could always just buy one if you really, it's just a single box works by itself, so that's fine.
Yeah. So going next in the news, Sonos, they have had so much back and forth on their app and all of their work that's been done on it. Now it is coming out from The Verge again, because they've got that inside hookup that apparently executives at Sonos are considering relaunching the old version of the app as an interim stopgap solution while they continue to work on the new one. I mean, that is rough, but they're saying this app, the fixing this app is going to cost them millions of dollars. And they just went through a round of layoffs across different divisions. So this has just been, it has been crazy for them, but they are still committed to getting this fixed. And this is just the latest update in this whole saga.
This is tough. Like Sonos is great. Their technology is great. I've always enjoyed them. I moved away from them to just go all in on HomePod a while ago, but when I had them, I always enjoyed them. There was that debacle the first time they moved from the S0, I guess, to the S1 app. Now they're on the S2 app. They had similar issues. People complained about the app functionality and design. I didn't like the design either, but it worked at least. But here we are moving even further into design issues and a lot of problems, complaints from users all over again, but on a much bigger scale. It just doesn't work. And this is a perfect example of what happens when you have vertical integration between hardware and software and don't manage it very well, right? If Apple ever did this, it would be catastrophic.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they are continuing to iterate on it. And just to also clarify what I had said in the last episode, which is they are punting 2 products. And I assumed that was going to happen after the holiday season. But the way that their financial quarters are plotted out, Q4 for them, it could still end up happening before Christmas and the holidays. So we may still see at least one of their major new products, probably the Arc 2 soundbar, before the end of the year. So that's still a possibility there.
Is it codenamed Lasso because it looks like a mustache?
Maybe that's what it is.
Like, Ted Lasso.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I assumed it's written in the Lasso font, so it's clearly a Ted Lasso reference. Mm-hmm. So I assumed it was just because TV and Ted Lasso is a TV show. It was as far as I went. But maybe it's the whole mustache thing. That could be it. Giving
your TV a mustache with a Sonos soundbar.
There we go. You just wrote their hook right there. That's going to be popping up in Google Ads in 3 months.
Of course.
It's going to have your name underneath of it. Wes. But it'll be me mispronouncing it.
There you go.
Okay, so that basically covers it for the news. I want to go to a hands-on, but before we do, let's thank our second sponsor for the episode. It is Shopify. Shopify is absolutely the platform that you need to look into when you are selling something, whether it is online or in person. They have so many tools to help merchants and entrepreneurs be successful. As far as their web platform goes, I love how easy it is to get up, going, and running, whether you are just a tiny little startup, whether you are selling software or digital goods, or whether you're selling physical products. If you're selling physical products, it can help you manage inventory between your online platform and your retail stores. You can even do things like in-store pickups and all this stuff. It's amazing how far this stuff has come. For people who are just shopping online, people know Shopify. Even if they don't know it's Shopify, they do, because that platform and the checkout process is recognizable and it makes them feel safe and they trust your website when they are checking out. They can also check out via things like Google Pay and Apple Pay, so they don't even have to go through the whole process of giving you card information, which may sketch them out if they've never bought from you before. But then when they use Shopify, they know that it is safe, so they can go ahead and pay however they want. Then everything can get kicked over to the Shop app, where they can track their purchase from the time that they placed it to tracking it via shipping to getting to their house, and then even leaving a review. I personally just bought some new coffee from XBloom, and I literally have the order right there on the Shop app, and I'm like watching it every day for it to ship and get here, and I'm so excited for new coffee. All through the Shop app. All these different websites that I know and love, that Wes knows and love, use Shopify. Ones like Moment, you've got Nomad, you've got Allbirds, Brooklinen, like all these major brands have relied on Shopify, and for good reason. So here's what you guys can do. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/HomeKit, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/HomeKit now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/HomeKit. Okay, I've got a hands-on. I've been sitting on this for a while, so I'm excited to actually have a chance to kind of show it and be excited about it. But it is another air purifier, and it is part of this trend that I am all about in the smart home, which is making smart home products look less techy and more part of your home. There's so many smart home products that look kind of ridiculous. They're like, oh, I'm going to go metallic gray looking, and they don't look like something that you would put in your home. So this is the SmartMi air purifier. I'm holding it up right now. If you're watching the video of this, we're trying not to make a bunch of background noise. But this is it. It's got this really nice heathered gray front to it. There's a little tiny orange accent on the top where the buttons are, which is very subtle. Other than that, it's white. It has a metal stand on the bottom that like hovers. What do you think, Wes? Do you like the look of this?
It's bigger than I thought it would be, honestly, which is nice because, you need a big surface area for an air purifier to work efficiently. I've eyeballed this product since we last talked about it. It's definitely on my list. I think having one of these in a couple of spaces would be really smart, especially since you can change that front panel, right, to put like different pieces of artwork or colorful stuff on it. And it just looks cool, can blend in.
Absolutely. That is one of the best things about this product. So it is Wi-Fi, it is Apple Home certified and all that stuff. And like you said, so the filters are on the front. Oh, this can be freestanding on your floor, but they also include the hardware to wall mount this. So you can put this on your wall, which makes more sense when, like Wes said, you can replace the filter and swap it out for ones with like artful, colorful designs. So the second one I have here is this cat. Look at this cat. It's a little kitty cat who is just stretching in a windowsill, and it looks really nice. So you could swap out the faceplate, the filter. This is the actual filter. You can see like the charcoal and the carbon in there. It's fairly thick, and it's just this printed fabric, what's usually called like the pre-filter right there on the front. And you just swap that out and you have a different look. And I love this. Between the wall mounting, the freestanding, the different artwork, I love the design of this thing, and it works with Apple Home. For me, this thing is a win. I've been using it for a few weeks now. To me, it's really hard to test like truly the efficacy of air purifiers. You have so many variables, but we have a lot of animals in this house, and we rely on them heavily to make sure our house does not smell like animals. So far, I've had no complaints with this. It works at least as good as any other air purifier that I've had in the room.
It sounds like it fell over. No, it looks really cool. I definitely like the idea of being able to swap out the artwork or having just different options. Maybe it's spring and you want the pink one, and it's fall, you get the cat one because it's orange, right? Like it, I don't know. I think it's just clever. SmartMi's made some really fun design choices on a lot of their things, so definitely cool.
Okay, I think we have time really quick to do one listener question that Dylan wrote in. So Dylan, I think they really mainly want to write in and just say they loved the show. I think that's the important takeaway from Dylan's question. But I guess aside from that, they say they are looking for cameras. They're adding more smart home cameras. Their first one they added for a classroom was a Arlo camera. And they want to know if there is a way, so it's inside in the classroom, keeping an eye on like the class materials and laptops and things like that. And they want to set it up so there's an automation or something, some way to switch the mode so it only records when they are on the school's Wi-Fi. So like detect when they're on the Wi-Fi, and when they're there, change the mode of the camera to recording. And I think that's possible. So there is that routines page in there in the actual Arlo app. And then Wes, I think what you were going to say, right? There is a trigger for shortcuts, right? That you can kick off a shortcut based on connecting or leaving a Wi-Fi network, right?
Well, couldn't you, not just Wi-Fi, but isn't there a geolocation feature for this as well?
There absolutely is, that is a good question for Dylan, I guess. Wouldn't it not work with the location base? Because that's already a thing. Like I do that now to have my Arlo ones record or not record based on where I am. So that's a good question too, if that would work. But I kind of just got really into the weeds on the intricacies of would that shortcut work by triggering like, okay, connected to this Wi-Fi network, change this routine on the Arlo camera, and then back. So I think that would be possible, but like you said, the location might be even easier. As a follow-up, Dylan also was talking about they were looking for one that would be HomeKit or Matter or anything like that, I believe. Right now, there are no Matter cameras at all, and Arlo does have many of its cameras in the Home app, but they can be viewed, but not the recordings. So the recordings still have to go through Arlo or any local storage that you set up that way. Right. So there's still kind of limitations there, but I think this can work for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Arlo is not HomeKit, correct? Or I can't remember.
Many of them are, but not HomeKit Secure Video. And it again depends on the model. And then even then you're limited to 1080p. Like they might be a 2K or a 4K camera, but in HomeKit, only 1080p.
Yeah, there might be, if you're looking for more specific solutions, there's usually forums for these kinds of products where people discuss their workarounds and different things. But I would definitely look into the geolocation because similar to Wi-Fi, you're only going to be in that area when you're in that area, right? The Wi-Fi is a good indicator, but your device should already know where you are. And unless you live in the school, you should be fine.
Awesome. Thank you, Wes, for hanging out today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you guys have any of your own questions, be sure to let me know. You can reach me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU or send me an email at Andrew@appleinsider.com. You can also throw it up in the YouTube video, which you can watch over at youtube.com/HomeKit Insider. Wes, you got anything to leave us on?
Nope. You can find me on Mastodon as usual, and email me from the email you can find at the top of any article. And look out for that Apple Vision Pro review coming very soon. But otherwise, yeah, we'll talk soon.
Awesome. See you guys.